Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Excuse me for all the coughing and stuff in the last couple of videos. Found out why. Woke up sick as hell today. So if my voice is a little rough and I'm a little out of it, you gotta excuse me. I'm heavily medicated and sweating my behind off. I don't know if I. Whew. Anyway, so Wizards decides that they don't want a middleman when they sell their products, along with Hasbro technically has decided the middleman is no longer necessary. And what does that mean for all of us shoppers? So before we get started, though, don't forget comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Comments down below will feed that YouTube algorithm. In the description, there's places like TCG Player and eBay to buy cards to support the channel. There's Patreon, and if we get to 1,000 people, there's going to be a giveaway. 1,000 subscribers, that is. Whew, God, I'm rough. So, help a brother out, guys. Whew, send some NyQuil or something. Damn. Anyway, so what does this mean? So, as of Friday, I found this while I was cruising through the ether of the net. And I found this very interesting. It's not been popularized very much. I did see a few people talk about it. But it says, as you see with the listing of this article here by Linda, Dungeons and Dragons will no longer be distributed through Penguin Random House. What does that mean? Well, first off, retailers buy through Penguin Random House. Penguin Random House is a local distributor. Well, not local, I guess, but it's a distributor for everybody for many books. Um, Everything from comic books, regular books, hardbacks, paperbacks, you name it. And many people are happy with Penguin House and how they deal with their customers. They have a great problem-solving department and so forth and so on. I've heard nothing but good things about this place. Um, because first thing I want to do is I asked a few people I know that buy from Penguin House. Has there been any issues? Has there been any troubles? What's the deal? Why does Wizards want to kick them out of the loop? And from what I've found, at least on the local, you know, distribution standpoint of people who buy from Penguin House, everybody's happy. So, with that being said, why would you shut Penguin House out of your distribution if they're doing a stellar job and everybody loves them? Well, let's read the article and see what we can find out. So, if you go down here, you'll see starting January 1st, 2024, Random House will no longer be distributing Wizards of the Coast, seminal TTRPG books, Dungeons and Dragons. The announcement was made via email to various retailers. Um, this place got a copy of it. They're currently a distributor portal live on Wizards' website. So, with no explanation whatsoever, i.e., I couldn't find one either, the email reads, effective December 31st, 2023, Penguin Random House LLC will cease distribution of titles for Wizards of the Coast. It also includes a couple support lines and a link to the distributor portal on Wizards of the Coast site. There will now be 6 companies handling distribution: Alliance, Diamond, GTS, Magazine Exchange, PhD, and Southern Hobby. Um, yeah, so if we go down here a little further, it talks about down here, Wizards of the Coast maintains as quarterly publishing schedule, often publishing anywhere between 2 to 6 different books, if you count variants, obviously, every 3 to 4 months. PRH is a massive publishing distribution company, and it's unclear how changing this structure will benefit the booksellers and game stores who stock its products, especially as it intends to publish a new edition next year. As the owner of a hybrid bookstore and game store, it's frustrating since the book publisher terms, incentives, and requirements are generally a lot better than the big game distributors. Penguin is a very easy to deal with bookstore, very easy to deal with as a bookseller, particularly when it comes to things like replacing damaged products, returning outdated items. Less so with game distributors who have higher minimums and less favorable margins. So if you want to know what that means, when you buy from normal distributors that would sell pretty much anything like Magic cards, collectible cards, Pokemon cards, you name it, the distributors have a minimum you have to buy to get certain discounts or to even be shipped to you without some kind of weird high shipping fees or handling fees, which has to then be passed on to your level, to your customer, making you make less profit, your books cost more, yada yada yada. So There's that. It also states here, Wizards of the Coast sent IO9 a statement about this development. Penguin Random House is a valid partner, publishing license, Wizards of the Coast. While we deeply appreciate the excellent service they provided over the years, we are now shifting our distribution strategy to utilize the capabilities of Hasbro to sell and distribute D&D products to retailers. This change in distribution of Wizards D&D role-playing game publications such as rulebooks, adventure content, won't affect fans as they will continue to find D&D products at their preferred retailers. So, what does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what it really means. What this really means here is simply they want to cut out the middleman so that the markup they were getting, or the markup that was being used at Penguin House, can now be the markup they use to increase their overall sales margins. And why would they do that? Well, for one, they want to make more money. Two, there's been a sharp decline in everything Hasbro, especially Wizards of the Coast, as far as selling goes. And they have to make that money up somewhere. So they're going to start cutting people out of the picture and selling straight to individuals. So what does this mean? Well, it means that eventually local LGSs, I believe, will be cut out of the picture, and you will not be able to buy these books at your local LGS. You will only be able to buy on Hasbro/Amazon and shipped to your door, because it's more money for them. Because think about it. Let's just do a scenario. The book costs $20. I know the book don't cost $20. Way more than that because they're greedy efforts. Anyway, the book costs $20. So if you're buying it for 20, that probably means they would give it to Penguin for 10. Penguin would sell it for 14 to 15. The LGS would sell it to 20 for you. So everybody gets a small cut, so forth, so on, yada, yada, yada. What they want to do, they eliminate Penguin. Now they sell for 15, so the people at the local LGS currently won't see a difference in what they pay, but what Wizards makes will be a lot more. And what that means is at some point, if Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, whatever, continues this piss poor marketing plan of how they market their products and continue down a road of making their customers mad and upset, eventually they'll have to cut out the distributors or the LGSs and sell strictly from their website and deliver it to get the extra $5 per every book sale. And that may be where it goes next. What's causing this? Simple. We've talked before. You guys have probably forgot about it, about the OGL, when they talked about they wanted to go into this thing where anything done in Dungeons and Dragons belongs to them. Nobody can make their own content and get paid for it, yada, yada, yada. And they really wanted to milk the blood out of the rock that was D&D instead of letting it have a stable margin of gains and have the people love it. They wanted to milk everything out of it they could, like they have tried to with Magic, which immediately backfired on them and caused them to lose tons and tons of not only people buying the books, but people doing D&D Beyond, which was a live subscription service. And because of that millions of dollars of pushback that they saw, they immediately turned around and were like, oh, that's not what we're going to do. We've changed our mind. And they really tried to sugarcoat all of it. So for me, this is the next level of them saying, well, if we can't get the money that way, let's get the money this way. And this will slowly pour into the fact where you won't be able to get books at your local LGS that are new. You'll only be able to get books secondhand that people have sold or traded in, which will be the new market. Because people will buy books and they'll sell or trade them or whatever, and you'll be able to buy books secondhand a little cheaper than what it would be to buy them full price straight out of Hasbro/Wizards of the Coast/Amazon for full price. And at the end of the day, once that's dried up and they've now cut the LGS out, which I think is the next step, what are they going to do then? They're just going to start raising prices and try to come back to the whole OGL thing about how they own everything and this, that, and the other. Luckily, a lot of people have already started putting stuff together, like Pathfinder, to get around this by doing their own thing with an open OGL, saying that anybody can use their stuff for anything with no drawbacks. So this is another cash grab by Wizards of the Coast to try to keep their profit margins up because they can't run their business correctly. And that's basically what this is in a nutshell. So I feel sorry for Penguin Press. They sound like they're great guys. Everybody seems to love them. But at the end of the day, um, these CEOs, Chris Cox and whoever that chick is, every time I hear her name, I try to forget it because she's an abomination to the company. Reading Wikipedia posts, are running this company into the ground so fast that they can't fire her soon enough. This is just ridiculous, and I wonder how bad it has to get before she's finally, quote unquote, terminated, or should I say, quote unquote, on leave or leaves for a better opportunity, quote unquote. Not that she was asked to leave, forced out, or made quit because of piss poor job performance. So, um, there you have it, guys. I think this is just another step, another stepping stone for Hasbro Wizards of the Coast, that they don't have the consumer's best interest in mind. They're money hungry, greedy, and at the end of the day, over the next couple of years, will slowly bleed off their business probably to other companies until they don't know what's happened and they have to fire everybody they hired and bring a whole new service of people in to run the business, because with the people that are currently in place, no one's going to believe anything that they do because they hate them, they don't like them, and they don't want to work. They don't want to see them make money. So, if you're listening to Wizards of the Coast, Hasbro, the best thing you can do to get back customer confidence: fire all your CEOs, replace them, and change what you're doing. Otherwise, everybody's just going to keep going to Pathfinder, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, you name it, any other card game but yours. So you can try to keep your company afloat by doing this and try to keep your profit margins high, but guess what? At the end of the day, that's not going to be good enough, and you will eventually run out of options until you have to give in to the player. So until next time, be kind, and I hope to see you across from the game table.